My name's Dead Pallet, and today we're going to be reading about some pretty long Furbies. RPC-910 is a RPC Authority entry. If you're not familiar with the RPC Authority, there's a link down below. Essentially, it's a big writing project, and we're going to read this entry. It's got a pretty comical title, some pretty long Furbies. If you aren't familiar with a Furby is, Furbies. So, RPC-910, registered phenomena code 910, object class beta white. Hazards: animated hazard, emotional hazard, transmutation hazard. Transmutation. So is this Furby breaking the laws of equivalent exchange? Containment protocols. RPC-910 instances are to be contained in a 30 by 30 by 30 meter steel containment room in Site 007. A 1 meter thick and 3 meter tall steel door to RPC-910's storage room is to be accessed with a level 2 researcher security pass. The storage room of 910 is to only be accessed when bringing in new instances of RPC-910. All instances or to remain in storage. All instances or to remain in storage should be R. Report to head researcher Harold redacted in the event of newly recovered instances. So this researcher, Harold redacted, Harold R. redacted of the RPC redacteds, is a person who also looked into Iraq kids, the spider children that abduct children. The link in the description to the video where I talked about that. Description: RPC-910 is an anomaly that allows instances of the American electronic robotics toy released in 1998, referred to as Furbies, to grow to extreme lengths at an estimated rate of about 50 centimeters an hour. Instances are able to break through any material, excluding metal or anything stronger if their growth is restricted to a small area. Instances affected by RPC-910 are designated RPC-910-A. So, is an anomaly that allows them. So, we're not sure what this object is, or whether the Furbies themselves just spontaneously do this. Regardless, there's no proximity object or something that makes this happen. It's just, I'm guessing it's just them themselves will do this. All Furbies are capable of this, maybe? It says excluding metal, so metal is it just any kind of metal? It says that it relates to strength. Well, there's multiple strengths in metal, so that's a weird thing to put in there. But the image is just wonderful. An instance of RPC-910 found on a kitchen counter upon its discovery. I love it. There are currently redacted instances of RPC-910-A contained in Site 007. All contained instances vary in length, 5 to redacted meters in length. Putting length in there twice is redundant. Most instances have fur that is white, gray, or black in color. Some of these instances are delivered in their original box, with a few alterations to the box text, such as the addition of a quote, "Cute, fluffy, and cuddly, hug your worries away." Instances are not delivered in their original packaging, bear the same message written in a black permanent marker on the side of the box they were shipped in. This message is usually placed in such a way as to obscure the return address. Okay, so I'm not sure what what to make of that, per se. So is someone modifying these things and then sending it to random owners? We're going to need some more context here. And I don't know if this is the RPC format not giving us the context yet, but there's some ambiguity here that I just want resolved at some point. It's fine if it's there now, as long as it's resolved at some point, how these things are coming to be. RPC-910-A have an effect on their owners, causing them to feel emotionally attached and dependent on the objects. Subjects express a need to groom, pet, and bathe RPC-910-A instances. Dissection of RPC-910-A instances has shown that their interior is composed of a single bendable piece of copper wire in thick pieces of felt cloth. When dissected, RPC-910-A instances still retain full mobility. So they still function as any Furby toy would, even though they have this weird distended structure. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. And people get emotionally attached to that. I like that. I'm a fan of the idea that they're kind of obsessive about it, where you get it's kind of what were those called? The little keychain toys that people used to have. Oh god, it's at the tip of my tongue. We're gonna bing this. Tamagotchi toys. How could I forget? Can't wait to read the RPC entry on Tamagotchi toys. So it's like a Tamagotchi where people get obsessed by it. I like that. That's a cool idea. Until you return to your Tamagotchi and it's sitting in its own shit and filth and it's sick. In rare occurrences that an RPC-910-A instance is not delivered to the intended recipient has grown to a length of 15 meters, it will begin to mobilize. Okay. There have been sightings of instances of RPC-910-A moving across the street in the same fashion as a worm and verbalizing the name of the buyer until it reaches the front door of said buyer. Once removed of possession from their buyer, the instance will attempt to return back to the buyer utilizing non-violent means. That's an important distinction. Again, I've said it many times, whenever you're writing these kinds of stories, the ones that are less threatening tend to be the more charming and creative ones, tend to be the ones that are utilizing a more interesting idea of being menacing and hazardous in a more interesting way than just killing you, choking you out, all of the standard methods. And I'm a fan of that. The more creative you are, the better. The weirder your SCP entry is, that still makes logical sense, that all hangs together. I'm a fan of that. A large number of instances will grow substantially in order to be long enough to reach their owners. A few instances were observed flailing around when restricted by recovery teams. RPC-910-A instances are only affected when they are sold anonymously on an online store or online auction websites. So the idea of instead of having an Amazon delivery drone, the RPC the long elongated Furby is just like slinking its way across the street to come to you. Addendum-1 discovered. The first few RPC-910-A instances were discovered when the local authorities of a town in Redacted received a complaint from a landlord. The landlord called the police for a wellness check when a tenant failed to pay bills. 2 police officers came to the apartment to check on the man, but they knocked on the door only to hear muffled voices. After waiting for a few minutes, the police broke down the door to witness 3 instances of RPC-910-A spilling out into the hallway. Each instance was between 50 and 90 meters in length and blocked the doorway. The police officers spent 5 minutes pulling out the rest of the length of the bodies of each instance down the staircase in order to enter. The resident was found inside his room grooming the fur of a 4th instance. The authority was alerted of this by internal agents, which allowed the authority to dispatch a recovery team to contain the RPC-910-A instances. Okay, so an important note is that the instances are just kept in a containment chamber, and the only reason that they do any sort of maintenance is to put more in, and it's potentially because people get obsessed with these things. Bearing that in mind, I still don't know what causes the mutation to occur and how these things are coming out, whether I'm assuming that's just like some dude on eBay is cursing these objects in some way, like hocus pocus, now it's an instance of SCP-910-A, and from there they're sending them out, and this is where the weird elongation begins. Let's be clear. The reason that the story is made because someone made this like funny image of a Furby, and there's a number of like funny Furby modification images out there, and someone wanted to write a story about it, which I can appreciate. Addendum-02 interviewed buyer of RPC-910-A, interviewer, head researcher, Harold redacted. Forward, interviewer is of the first known buyers of RPC-910. Begin log. Harold, good afternoon. Today I'll be asking you a few questions about your toy. My toy? What about them? Where did you buy them? And from whom? I bought them off of Redacted for cheap prices of $2 each. I don't know who sold it though. They had a username with a bunch of letters and numbers. I thought it was a scam because it looked suspicious as hell, but I bought one to see if anything did come. I got the package a day later, and it certainly wasn't what I was expecting. Harold, it wasn't advertised as a growing Furby? Buyer, not at all. It was advertised like any item that a parent wants to get rid of. It was about 2 meters when I got it. The body broke through the package tape and sprouted like a tree. Aren't they cuddly? That's wonderful. That's a great image. You have this package and then the boop, pop up, here comes the Furby. Harold, why are there more than one? Buyer, because I wanted to get some for my friends. They would definitely be quite a gift, don't you think? Like, imagine your friend is on your front door and is holding the head of these Furbies while their long bodies are sprawling all over the floor. Ain't it cool? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I must be under the effect of these Furbies. I'm into that. I'm into some long, elongated Furbies. Harold, apparently you haven't paid for your rent lately. Why is that? Oh my god, he just quit his job to be a Furby groomer. Buyer, oh yeah, my rent. I've been busy trying to maintain these guys. They can crawl all over your stuff, so they broke a few of my things. But they've been just trying to make sure they're clean, and that I've just been trying to make sure they're clean, and that my belongings don't break. They're really active around the house. It's a bit creepy that you keep saying my name. It's a bit creepy that they keep saying my name. Harold, I think we're done here. Pay your rent and have a good day. Closing statement. Amnestics were administered to the buyer and any other residents who witnessed instances of RPC-910. Addendum Log 3. Test Log 910-1. Goal. Test how long an instance of RPC-910A will get when the buyer is moving around in a 10-kilometer radius. Subject CSD-06929. Sorry guys, letter numbers messing with me. Description. Subject was moved around site RPC-910-007 with a day of ordering him to purchase an instance of RPC-910-A. Subject was moving to a new facility every hour of the day. Was approximately 65 hours of being moved around site redacted. The instance of RPC-910-A that was purchased showed up outside of subject's cell without its box. The instance has grown up to 130 meters in length at the time of its arrival. It was promptly contained after. Note, the thing was gonna catch up sooner or later. I wonder if we try something bigger. Test log 2. Goal. Test how long an instance of RPC-910-A will get when the buyer is moving around a 50-kilometer radius. Subject, Dr. Redacted. Description. Dr. Redacted purchased another instance of RPC-910-A. He was escorted around Redacted National Park in Oregon by 2 ASF members. I'm not sure what that is. They walked around the forest for approximately 18 hours a day and set up camp in a remote area to rest about 6 hours. The experiment lasted up to 220 hours until RPC-910-A instance appeared from behind a tall pine tree. Pine tree, and then just boop, Furby coming out. Dr. Redacted and the 2 ASF members described their encounter with the instance as unpleasant. Dr. Redacted reported to the authorities that the test was over and to dispatch a team to escort them back to site. Redacted. When brought back to the facility, RPC-910-A instance was measured up to 140 meters in length, and fortunately, there was no public sightings of RPC-910-A witnessed by civilians. Note. Okay, alright. That was a long instance. It might sound a bit crazy. What if we go even longer? Oh, absolute mad lad. Test log 3, denied. Goal, test how long an instance of RPC-910-A will get when the buyer is moving around various parts of the world. Note, well, looks like the guys upstairs didn't like the idea. Risky, they say. Oh, they don't dare to dream, do they? But I do want to see an instance of RPC-910-A swimming across the sea. So I do have the question, if this is a cognitive hazard, what was it labeled as? Cognitive hazard? Transmutation hazard, emotional hazard, animated hazard. So I guess, and upon seeing it, you're not immediately enamored, or upon buying it, you're not immediately enamored. It's just a thing where it does have power over you to a certain degree. It's just like infectious. It's an emotional hazard. It's not a cognitive hazard. So it's affecting your heart, not your mind. I get that now. Okay. So, really enjoyed this one. Absolutely silly. Really enjoyed it. Quite a fan of this. For every, super Mary Sue death-dealing monster, there has to be something, fun and lighthearted and jovial like this. If you enjoyed me rambling about this, maybe you would enjoy the Arachnids vid, or myself, Abysme, and Slime Beast reading RPC entries on our podcast, the Fear Fiction Podcast. Please check that out. And of course, do go visit the RPC website and see if there are any other stories there that you might want to investigate, ones that are longer. This is a short entry and it takes me this long to talk about it, but there are a lot more that are significantly longer. You can really get invested into a nice, good story, and it's free 99, so what better price is that? I'm not actually going to throw this on my camera, come on. So, last second addendum, I looked into it, and there's a guy named Furby Fuzz, or person named Furby Fuzz, on Tumblr, who sells long Furbies. And this is where it came from. It's just this guy that modifies Furbies and sells them to people. And the sales are closed, but now this person is just blown up and is selling long Furbies. whenever they have time to make them. I guess they're like inundated with orders for long Furbies because people want them for some reason. Which, hey, living your best life, having your longest Furby, that's great. One day we'll have a transatlantic Furby. I put links to that in the description because I used pictures of it throughout the video. So yeah, I love this world. I love this internet. My name's Dead Palette, and today we're going to be reading about some really long furries.